spirituality was not crafted by humans. Is what, let me say, as old as earth is, spirituality is as old. It's something we were gifted. Religion has a birth date, all religions. And I sit here again as a scholar of religion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm speaking facts.
So what is religion? A lot of people would like to define Christianity as a religion. And what they mean by that is to say that Christianity is all about making spiritual matters about politics, about positions, about power, and about oppression. And we also know historically that there have been people within religious bodies, especially organized religious bodies, who have led to a lot of corruption, a lot of abuses of people. And so people then find it easy to term the whole thing, to call Christianity a religion because, well, religion has a negative connotation to it. But what if we spoke like this about African spirituality? If we said African spirituality is witchcraft, a lot of people don't like it when African spirituality is just summed up under witchcraft. But they're quite comfortable to call Christianity a religion or to sum it up in the negative. So this is a video that we're going to be dealing with, a video where we're going to be looking at this topic of religion as it relates to African spirituality. And we have Dr. Radebe, somebody who have done a video, a reaction video too in the past. And so basically he comes on into one of these EFF podcasts and he's interviewed about African spirituality and he talks about Christianity and basically puts Christianity up against African spirituality, saying Christianity is man-made, spirituality has been there since the beginning, and that the Bible is not the word of God. So that's what we're dealing with, and we welcome you to Bisrat for Africa. This is a channel of comparative religion. It's a channel that gives you commentary on religious and spiritual matters. And so this is the video we're looking at today, and we're going to give some commentary as we go along. So thank you so much for tuning in. And for those of you who are new to our channel, we want to encourage you to like, to share, to subscribe. But let's check out this video and then we'll give some commentary.
Yeah.
So as you navigate through spirituality, what is the fine line between religion and spirituality?
Spirituality is as old as humans. Spirituality was not crafted by humans. Is what, let me say, as old as earth is, spirituality is as old. It's something we were gifted. The other example that can make a person kind of understand is that you are flesh and spirit. Your flesh is, it depends on the world. Then you are spirit, you are spirit. So your spirit and your spiritual connection with all spiritual entities is what we call spirituality.
Okay.
Spirituality meaning that when you are spiritually conscious of your own spirituality and other spirits around you. What is religion? Religion has a birth date, all religions. And I sit here again as a scholar of religion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm speaking facts, not what I think. All religions have dates. They have birth dates. They were born. I'll quickly go there. So you have what you call Abrahamic. There are more religions, but let's talk about the popular ones. What you call Abrahamic religions. That is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They were all born in one place called Israel. And they were all, according to religion, they came from, they were born out of a man called Abraham, who had two children, Isaac and Isaac. Isaac is being said he gave birth to Islam. Isaac is being said he gave birth to Judaism. Then Christianity was born out of Judaism. That's why they are called, all three of them, Abrahamic. There are more religions. There's Buddhism, etc., etc. But I just gave you now where they were born and how they were born. So they were crafted by humans, our religions. That's why you see that, let's take the most popular Christianity. You know very well, if you go to church A and church B, they might quote the same scripture, but interpret it in all different ways. Because religion was crafted by humans. And that is why to be actually a religious leader, you have to go to school. Because religion...
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to. Because religion is academia. Already it's telling you something there. Anything that's academia, it's of human origin. We put things together and put it in an academic form. So you have to go to school because religion is academia. It has scholars. It was crafted by humans. Spirituality was not crafted by humans. Spirituality is what we all were born with. It's a spiritual thing. It's something that comes from the spiritual dimension, and it comes to you. So you don't learn it anywhere. So I can say that's the difference. Religion is man-made. Spirituality is what we were given. It's not created by humans.
The word religion comes from the Latin word religare. And basically that word means to rebind something or to reconnect something. It's really a word that's telling us about an attempt to reconnect with the divine. And by that definition, whether you want to call it spirituality, whether you want to call it religion, whether you want to call it Buddhism, whatever you want to call it, but if it's an attempt to reconnect humanity with the divine, then it falls under religion, irrespective of what definition you would like to call it. But all of those things will be classified under religion. So in a simple nutshell, religion basically is a system of beliefs, values, rituals, and practices that make an attempt to reconnect humanity with the divine. In a nutshell, that's really what all of us are trying to do. We're trying to answer the question, who is God? Where did we come from? Why we are here? Where we are going? That's what religion is attempting to answer. And so by that definition, we can then say whether it's African spirituality, whether it's Christianity or Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, all of those things will be classified under religion. But it's very important as well that we understand when he says that religion is man-made and spirituality is divine, somehow it came from God. This is completely not true. Religion has been there from the very beginning because human beings have been attempting to rediscover who they are, to understand who God is, where they came from. These questions are not new questions. And so whether you want to call it spirituality or you want to call it religion, but human beings have been trying to attempt to answer these questions. Now he goes on to say that Christianity or religion, it's about academics. But this is the same person who says...
I sit here again as a scholar of religion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm speaking facts, not what I think.
So when he himself studies and he's a scholar, he speaks facts. But if a Christian leader goes to study, no, this is man-made. It's about academics. And by the way, academics are not necessarily to say something is man-made if we discover it through academics. Let me give you an example. I always make example of the laws, the scientific laws that are there, like the law of gravity. That when Isaac Newton discovered that principle, he didn't invent it. So he applied principles that help him to discover it. But that is a reality that was there before. And so this is really what we mean when we're talking about the science of religion or the science of self-realization, is that there are things that God has revealed about himself. And so what we are trying to attempt to do is to say, where has God revealed himself, right? If you compare different attempts at explaining who God is, we should compare them and say, which one is the more believable? Should we believe that God came out of dark waters or that God came out of the reeds, as opposed to saying before everything was there, God was there. So this is what we must do when we come into comparative religion. Another thing he says, if you go to church A and you go to church B, you'll find that people are reading the same scriptures, but they'll arrive at different conclusions. This means Christianity is man-made. If you ask Xhosa people who are Nguni and you ask Zulu people who are Nguni, where did human beings come from? Or where did we as Xhosas and Zulus come from? The Xhosa will say we came from the rocks. The Zulu came from the reeds, right? So do we come from the same person? Were we created by the same person if we come from different places, or we have these two separate creation narratives? They asked Credo Mutwa to explain Zulu cosmology, the origins of humanity based on Zulu myths. And he said, well, God created, Nkulunkulu created everything and then handed over to Ma, who is a female deity, to hold the universe in harmony. And then they went and asked 20 different Sangomas if they knew about this deity called Ma. None of them knew about it, right? But these are spiritual people. They all hear from the divine. They hear from the ancestors. But the ancestors are giving them completely different messages. Now, these are just a few examples, but I want you to watch this video where different people are asked about what is Idlozi and what is Ichongo. and all of them come up with completely different answers. Even today, you'll never find the same answer when it comes to who God is, who Amadlozi is, who are the ancestors. You'll never get the same answer. But now, when it comes to your belief, do you take that as to say that it's human-made, that it's false? But let's have a look at this compilation I made for you guys.
Idlozi is someone who once lived, right? Whether it be your grandmother, grandfather, or grandparent. Okay. But is no longer alive.
Okay.
Itongo okanye amatongo, right? If you were to translate it into English, it's your guardian angels or your angels. So you see in the Bible they have Amenadel, they have Uriel, like Lucifer naye.
Yes.
He was once an angel as well. Gabriel as well.
Idlozi, in our definition, it is the spirits that are moving around, wildering in the mountains, whatever, those that are rejected spirits. So we don't subscribe to the rejected spirits. Those spirits will never live the divine life on earth. So we don't subscribe to them.
Idlozi ugesi, Idlozi is energy. Idlozi is an intelligent, creative, universal force that has no name, no shape, no character, no feelings. Idlozi is beyond humanity. It is the energy that exists in all things that makes all things alive.
Idlozi nethongo izinto ezimbili ezahlukene akufani. Kodwa labantu laba bobabili bafana ekutheni umuntu ongasekho othi mesedlulile emhlabeni waya ngale sangazike noma ke kwelamathongo uyangena omunye akangeni.
Idlozi is an eternal principle. There are 9 in number. Yiwo la ayenza ukuthi omama basithwale for 9 months. Amadlozi lawo. Then kube namathongo. Amathongo obaba wethu nomkhulu bethu who have lived on earth. But manje sebenganeno.
So these are just a few examples that I've given you about Amadlozi. Some people say, well, it's electricity or it's energy. Some people say it's angels who've never lived. Some people say Idlozi is somebody who died and then now they come back to guide you. So you've got almost like 4 different answers. And this is not even all the responses that we can give you, but there's so many answers out there. But I think my question will be to say, if it's allowed in African spirituality for people to say, Amadlozi are this, Amadlozi are electricity, Amadlozi are angels, Amadlozi are people who come from our families who've passed on, is it okay for a Christian to have their own interpretation and call them demons? Would I be accepted to have my own interpretation, since everybody's got their own interpretation? Or how should we go about it? How can you say I am wrong, right? But then not have a problem with someone else having something completely different. So that's my question to you. If you guys have enjoyed the video, I want to encourage you to like, to subscribe, and to share our videos. This is part 1 of part 2, so I'm going to do a similar video because it was a long video that Dr. Radebe did. So I'll now be dealing in the next video about the Bible, because he was talking about religion and spirituality. Now he's going to get into the Bible and why the Bible is man-made according to him. So we'll see you guys on the next video.